Fighters, I'm excited to share with you today the 3 key meetings you need to be having on a regular basis that will explode, boom, your profits pretty much immediately if you honor these commitments that we're going to talk about here today. Let's go. Hey, quick timeout. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good shit you're supposed to do when you watch videos like this that are helpful. Help another contractor out and share this thing. All right, my friends, meetings. Some of you saw the word meetings on this thing, and the only reason you watched the video is because it's the Contractor Fight, and you figure, okay, maybe Reber will get on here and scream at me and drop some F-bombs and stuff, and that's why I'm going to watch this fucking video, right? But the actual topic of how to have meetings and what meetings you should run, you'd probably rather, not watch something that exciting, right? But let me tell you right now, embrace meetings. Now, these don't have to be long, crazy meetings. I'm actually going to go over 3 of them with you here, exactly how we do them. And I'm going to share other meetings, but I'm not going to dig into those, all right? Hey, before we get going on today's video, if you're a newer business and you want a leg up on your competition of how to get your mindset right around money, how to know what to charge for your work, head over to thecontractorfight.com/foundations and grab our video training course that we have for you guys there. It will help you win faster in your business, guaranteed. Before we get into this, guys, here's a couple guidelines. I got 7 quick guidelines I'm going to bang through real quick, bullet point for you, so that you can be successful with your meetings. Number 1, guys, you have to have a clear goal of the meeting. Why are we having the meeting? Don't have a meeting if you don't know what goal the meeting serves. Number 2, consistent time, place, and the needed people should be there. Consistent time, place, and people. Roles in the company. Number 3, start and finish on time. Number 4, have an agenda. All right? Don't just sit down and go, what do you guys want to talk about? All right? Nothing but a bunch of, it's like chasing cats or something, herding cats when you're doing that. All right? What are we on? Number 5, all present will participate. This is not a lecture by you or whoever's running the meeting. You want everyone to participate in the meeting. Number 6, control the energy. That's your job. One of your jobs as a leader is to really set the tone, set the energy. All right? If you're going in there like a wet rag, you're going to have a wet rag of a meeting. All right? Don't be that type of company. You want your people to look forward to these meetings. You got to set the energy. And last thing, expectations are set before you leave. Okay? What was the goal? Any expectations, any assignments, things in that realm need to be assigned and communicated. All right. So here's some meetings. I'm going to bust through pretty much all the meetings that we would have in a year. And then I'm going to narrow it down to the 3 ones and describe those a little more detail for you. All right. To help you be successful right away. So guys, the first thing, we would have an annual planning meeting that would last 1 to 2 days. All right. And this is about looking back at the past year, celebrating that, and then talking about, what we've learned, and then setting the course for the new year. And we'll dig into that a little more in a minute here. And this meeting should include all the key players in the business. Ideally, it's held off-site, so you just get out of your normal location and go somewhere with the leaders of your company. Maybe that's just you and your spouse. Maybe it's you and your right-hand guy. Maybe you got a whole leadership team of 10, 12 people. Whatever applies to you. Second meeting that we would have every year is called Vision Day. And this was about a half day to a full day meeting, depending on the size of the company. And this is an all hands on deck meeting designed to unify everybody for the year ahead. And this, like I said, it should be high energy. It should be fun, recognition, bring some passion for the new year. And clear targets should be presented at this time to the team, okay? All company employees need to be there. We would invite our vendors to this, other industry partners that we would have, and we would make a big deal out of this. We want them in attendance. This is a way to get everybody excited about the new year. Now, another thing that we would do during this time was sometimes we break up into smaller groups and really get people in the company to share what some of their goals and their vision is personally for the new year. That equips you to be a better leader and help them to reach those goals. I've shared many times situations here on the Contractor Fight where We had employees that wanted to take their wife on a vacation or wanted to buy a certain thing. And because we knew that, we were able to help them do those things. All right. And it makes us a better leader and they feel like they're cared for. All right. So that's Vision Day. Guys, the next one is our quarterly meeting. This is a review of the previous quarter. I'm going to dig into this one in the middle when I come back to this. All right. So I'm going to move on. The next is a monthly meeting. All hands company meeting. Everybody's there. We do a state of the company. How are things going? We do some safety training. We do some recognition. We try to have some fun, try to eat some good food. Just a time to bring everybody together at least once a month and do that. All right. Next meeting, weekly meeting. I'm going to talk about that one in depth in a minute. So the weekly meeting is happening weekly. All right. And then finally, the daily huddle. And I'm going to tackle that one specifically as well. So guys, these were all the meetings that we would have. We have the annual meeting, we'd have Vision Day, we'd have quarterly meetings, we've had the weekly meetings, and we would have a daily huddle with each crew. All right, so the ones I want to dig into for you are, number one, the quarterly meeting. The quarterly meeting is important because this, like I said, is a review looking back at the previous quarter, and it's a way to go, are we on track for the goals that we set in the annual meeting? And, what adjustments do we need to make? Maybe we're ahead, maybe we're behind, okay? You don't want to wait to the end of the year to figure out that you're not going to hit your goals, you're not going to make money. You want to be looking at these things at least every quarter on a macro level like this. What didn't go well in the previous quarter? What did go well? Did those people who are responsible for certain outcomes in the business, did they do their jobs? Maybe you hire a marketing person, all right? You don't wait a whole year to evaluate, all right? You need to be sitting down going, okay, their job was to generate leads. This is how many leads we need to break even and make a profit. How are we doing in this area? Maybe you're that person. Maybe you hold yourself accountable to the sales goals that you set. What conversations do we need to have internally or externally, all right, with key players in the business to make sure that we're still on track? So this quarterly meeting generally was about a half a day for us. We really dig into the previous quarter, make sure we're on track, make adjustments, have our marching orders. That's the first meeting that will make you a shit ton of money. The next meeting that's going to make you a bunch of money is the weekly meeting. And for us, we called it our operations meeting. This is crucial to your success. All right, it's going to keep you tied into what's happening in real time each week in the business. All right, now who needs to be there? Obviously, the business owner is there each weekly meeting. Our office manager was there, any salespeople, and all the foremen and all our crew leaders, foremen, whatever terminology you use, and anyone in training to be a crew leader or foreman. Those are the people that were in attendance for the weekly meeting. And this meeting was typically around 45 minutes long, and here was our agenda. I'm going to just give you the agenda. You do this, I'm telling you, your profits are going to go up immediately. Number one, past jobs. Do a job costing on those, which should be, we had our crew leaders job cost their own jobs, at least the man hours on them, okay? And so they would report past projects like, hey, we had the Smith job. Maybe I'm reporting on the Smith job, and it was bid for 100 hours. We brought it in 96 hours. We're totally paid in full. There were no issues. You give a quick recap on what happened. That's first category. Second is current jobs that we're working on now. Goes back around to me. I'm presently on the Jones project. It's bid for 48 man hours. We got 1 day under our belt. It looks like we're going to finish on time or a little ahead of schedule. Just give an update. Hey, one of the things she's concerned with was this, that, and the other thing. Here's how I resolved it. Okay, you're just getting eyeballs on each project. And then we would move into leads and sales review from the past week. Okay, and the salesperson or owner, if you're the salesperson in your company, they share how many leads came in that week. Hey, in the past week, we had 38 leads. I sold X amount of projects totaling X amount of dollars. This is also the time where we'd have our crew leaders report on their upsells. They go around and, hey, I had this much this week in upsells, and, we'd praise them for that. And then we would end the meeting with about 15 to 20 minutes of training on something. How to knock on a door, how to deal with a difficult employee on your crew, how to upsell. There's a gazillion things you could train on. That was the weekly meeting. The final meeting I want to share with you. Is the daily huddle. Every crew should begin the day at the tailgate of somebody's truck or the van. Okay, the foreman will set the tone with the right energy, expectations for the day, making sure, hey, how was your night? Like, be social with one another. Don't just scream into the job site and run into the house. All right, it's actually nice when a customer can look outside and see you guys there 15 minutes early, looking all sharp, having a cup of coffee, and you're going over the scope of work. Guys, the plan is laid out for the day in this little huddle. Maybe a 5-minute little meeting, 5 to 10 minutes before you walk into the project. Okay, scopes of work are assigned. Time frames are assigned and communicated for each person on the project. Hey, Billy, you need to have that done by noon today so this can happen. All right, communicate those things. The day should also end with a similar type huddle that reviews the day's progress and sets the goals for the next day. All right, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes. My friends, I promise you, if you implement at least these 3 meetings that I went over in a little bit of detail here for you, you will begin to make more money immediately, okay? I've got 10, 12 years of history of coaching people that literally, when we put in this structure for them in their business, within the first month, their gross profit is going up 5 to 10 points, okay? Because they're sharpening the saw, and they're setting the tone for how things need to be. They're putting the expectations out there. They're being accountable to these things as a company. A lot of you are struggling right now to get your crews to be urgent about producing work. Okay? Well, one of the reasons they're not urgent about it is because you're not urgent with shit like this. Okay? You're not consistent with it. So I promise you, when you do this, good things are going to happen. Appreciate you all. I'm out.